All right, so how I made $320 in 20 minutes with a little asterisk next to that. All right. So my name is Royal. I'm the owner of Assurance DNA. We are a paternity testing company based in El Paso, Texas, and we can test all across the nation. So how I made $320 in just 20 minutes, asterisk next to it. So I started this company in December of 2020. Just working on building it over time. I got inspiration because my mom, she owns Nationwide DNA Services in Atlanta. She's been doing it for 20 years. I mean, I've just seen her. My mom has made, X amount, pre-recession, post-recession, and then recently she makes a pretty decent living for herself doing just paternity testing. So I started to start this business with my wife. She actually provided the seed money for it so I can do the marketing and setup of the business. And I basically failed every single time up until about a week ago to do the actual, in person. That's where you make the bulk of your money, is the in-person testing. So set up my website 6 months ago, set up the marketing. I thought this was going to be in the bag, too easy money right here, right? No, not really. When people call in about DNA testing, they want to know the answers. You have to sound confident. And I can only gain that confidence as I went along, as I learned more about the DNA testing industry. So fast forward until about a week ago, I got an inquiry into my website, called them immediately. That's the thing too. When you get inquiries, you immediately call these people up or send them an email. And of course you're discreet with whenever you call them up, and I stayed on the phone with this person for about 30 minutes answering all their questions about DNA testing. And when people call in, they say, "Oh, I just want a paternity test just for peace of mind, to know only, and that's it." And you want to also say, hey, if you ever think that you're ever going to use these results, or you're ever going to need these results to use in court, get a regular legal DNA test. That's what you should do. So I did that. I talked to her. This is over 6 months of trying and failing and people telling me they're going to book a test and me getting excited. Like, this is it finally. And then they don't, you know how it is, just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And so I said, hey, this is my price. I can drive out to you. I can do a mobile paternity test for you. She said, okay, cool. Booked it right there, paid the $320. So that was the actual payment. The next day, I went ahead and did the test. I had to drive about 50 minutes out to where she was at and where the alleged father was at, and did the test. It literally took about 20 minutes total of actually doing the test and going through all the legal paperwork and the chain of custody forms. And I talked about that in a couple other videos. And I did it, and I sent off the samples to the lab. She got her results 4 days later or so. And I was like, man, I finally did it. I did it. I made that money, off something that I created 6 months ago that I tried and failed. And I'm building this business. I'm building an actual business right now. So that's how I did it, and my advice is in whatever that you're doing, whether it's writing books, whether it's, buying, property, mobile homes, whatever you're doing, flipping cars, whatever, just keep going. And when you get that first win, that's the biggest one. That's the biggest one, is that first win. So that's how I did it. That's how I made $320 in 20 minutes with a little asterisk next to it. and kept a good amount of profit as well. So, you'll see some more videos coming up of just my journey in owning this business. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in.